All right. Thanks, Nick, for coming and conducting this interview with us. Like how I told you in the email, it's just kind of an interview just to know about your general health and fitness intake as a student here at Marquette. So just off the first question, as a student, how do you describe your daily routine as a student here at Marquette?
Sure. Well, I'm pretty busy as a student here. I currently take 19 credit hours. 3 of those credit hours are for an internship that I have, which is in downtown Milwaukee at MLG Commercial. I work 15 hours a week at that job. So really, I'm busy every single day. I do have break periods, throughout my day, that I like to kind of set up like a schedule of, what I need to get done, like certain tasks that I need to get done throughout the day. So basically, just to give you a quick overview, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I have class from 9 to 9:50. So I get up around 8, go to class. I have a break period from the ending of my 9:50 class until my work period that starts at 12. So I have that break period, and then I work from 12 to 5. So that's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I start class at 8 a.m., and then I go until about 1 p.m., and then I have a break. And then I have a class from 3:30 to about 5. So, as you can see, overall my schedule is pretty busy as far as, a college student.
Yeah. What do you like to do during your free time?
Sure. Good question. You and I had briefly spoken before about kind of what we do, and I think we've even seen each other in the gym before. So I'm a pretty fit person and active person, I'd like to think. So I love spending my free time in the gym when I can get there. As a soccer, I play on the club soccer team here, so I like to stay in shape. We'll even hold trainings later at night because that's the only time that they can allocate for certain club teams located in the old gym where ROTC is located. So we'll have later practices for that. So like there I can get my some physical fitness in. So that's more so conditioning as at a soccer player mentality. But then I also like to lift weights and obviously gain muscle. So I'll go to either the rec or the recplex to fulfill those needs. So that's kind of how I like to spend my time outside of my studies and my work. And then, other than that, kind of just socializing with friends and hanging out with my roommates.
Yeah. So it's just you touch base on the gym. How often do you go, and why did you start going to the gym? First off, was it just you at an early age you started getting into sports, or was it just you picked it up in college, or?
Yeah, good question. I would say my family overall has always been active and physically fit. My mom and dad have both always stressed upon me the importance of fitness related to one's health, and I always like to be a healthy person. I eat pretty well, I would think, and going on my first interest in going to the gym, it's always been I've always been like a smaller individual, I would say. So I always wanted to work hard and kind of push that extra mile to increase my fitness level and how I see myself physically, I guess. So that's kind of where my first interest came in there. And I typically spend, when I can, an hour and a half at the gym. And how many times a week? I do have a workout plan that's pretty much Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday is kind of my break period. So I if I can, I do like to go to the gym every day, and obviously it's a different workout each day. I'm targeting different muscle groups. But if that doesn't work, I do try to at least eat healthy and maybe get in maybe like an ab or a push-up workout here and there when I can, just to kind of get some sort of fitness throughout my day. So that's kind of how that looks.
Very nice. So what do you like about the gym? What attracts you to the gym? Is it certain equipment or just the atmosphere there? Do you go with friends, or what is the attraction of the gym towards you?
Sure. Well, I think we kind of touched on this a little earlier. I know, as college students, we're super busy and time is a big factor. So the gym's located here on campus. From my location where I'm at on campus, 15th and Kilbourne. I can get to the rec within 7 minutes walking, and I can get to the recplex about 8 minutes. So not terribly long. I like that the time aspect of it. When I get to the gym, I hope to find the gym that is not super crowded, so I can get in my I can fit in my workout and all that. However, I do if I have the opportunity to go with friends, I like to do that because it's that motivating pushing factor. If you have a workout to do with them, things might go smoother. Like you can encourage each other, that kind of thing. So if I do have the opportunity to go with friends, I'll do that. Sometimes we may even do like a pickup basketball game if we have like a group of people, which is always fun. I also like the amenities of the gym, focusing on like the sauna, steam room, hot tub. That's more so in the recplex. That's where I would go for that. I like to go there on the weekends maybe just to kind of relax rather than doing like a full-on workout. Maybe go to like the steam or sauna. And hit the hot tub in there. That's kind of how I like to relax. But I do like kind of the high energy aspect of the rec. Obviously, I would assume, as you know, it's typically the more crowded area. A lot of students utilize that. I used to utilize that a lot more as a freshman and sophomore, but now that I've recognized the recplex, I tend to go there a little bit more often because it's not as busy, I've found. But I do like seeing new individuals in the gym, seeing old faces that I recognize in the gym. You create friendships like we had talked about before. So yeah, those are all kind of big aspects that I find with health and fitness in the gym aspect.
Nice. So like you talked about the gym and how you go to both gyms, the rec center and the recplex. If both of the gyms were to be closed, would it, like even Marquette, if like during the summer, for example, if you weren't to be here at Marquette, what are some of the things that you look for when selecting a gym?
Good question. I would definitely look for proximity to where I'm located. I don't want to go 20 minutes, half an hour of my way to hit the gym and then back. If it's over, like a 10-minute commute, I don't really look to go that far. So I would like it to be in a good location where I am within the Milwaukee area. I would want it to have, all the basic gym needs I feel like that gyms should have, which is, cardio machines, dumbbells, racked weights, and then obviously like strength machinery. I think that's all super important. And then, an area to do aerobic exercises and kind of more movement and functionality exercises, and where people will, typically do, ab workouts. So I like a kind of a space area where you can do your own thing, but I do like the aspect of cardio machines and weightlifting machines, and obviously like your classic like dumbbell rack that typically a gym would have. On top of that, like I had hit on before, I look for a nice kind of relaxation activity after I've worked out. So whether that be the steam room, the sauna room, or like the hot tub. So like after your hard and grueling workout, you can go down there, hit that for 10 minutes or so, get all washed up, and then be on your way. So that's kind of what I look for in a gym.
You talked about kind of like relaxing and everything at the gym. Do you like music? Do you listen to music when you're at the gym, like with your headphones, or like in terms of the recplex and the rec center, they play music as well on the speakers? Is that a thing that you like? Is that a thing that you don't like? How would you?
Yeah, good question again. I hadn't even really thought about the whole music aspect, and that goes on to like the whole motivating and pushing oneself through the workout. I definitely like to listen to music. I have like a playlist that I have on my phone. I'll listen to that. I know that both gyms do have like overhead speakers that they play music. I typically like to listen to my own music because it's personalized to me and how I go through my workout. So, and typically when I do put on my earbuds, I get focused. I'm not looking around to seeing who's at the gym, and I'm not looking to really conversate with anyone. I go to the gym for a reason, and that's get a workout in. So that's my main goal. So that definitely, like you said, music helps me with that.
Okay. So in terms of the gym, what is some of the stuff that you can't stand about the gym? In terms not as like the people aspect, but stuff that, for example, management can control over.
Yeah, good question. Well, I mean, I obviously crowds, the large numbers is not very favorable to me if you can't, get into a certain piece of equipment that you've been looking to get at. Obviously, that's a huge problem. Something that can't be managed a whole lot, I guess. But knowing the right times to go will alleviate that. But as far as management, I guess I've noticed that sometimes machines break down frequently, and certain machines, to that matter. So I feel like they could be more on top of getting those machines fixed in a timely fashion, because I'll notice like a sign on a machine that'll be there for weeks. And I feel like there could be a maintenance member to come in and fix that like the day of. So I think kind of being more timely on that. Maybe as a student, I know that at the Recplex they offer towels for like alumni or kind of like the older member population, but they don't offer towels for students, which I would appreciate if they did offer towels. I often find myself wanting to like wipe down the equipment that I had just used, or wipe down if I'm like sweaty or something like that. So I think that would be nice from a management aspect. Other than that, I think they do a pretty good job of keeping it like a friendly environment where people, anyone can come in and hopefully feel comfortable with their workout setting. So I've had a good experience as far as that goes.
In terms of orientation of the gym, or just like the organization, how it's structured, like to have like a certain designated area to be a weight room, and that's just a regular cardio. Do you think that's important for the gym, or like, is there a certain way you think it would be to structure out a gym in terms of having equipment designated in certain areas?
Yeah, I think just in my experience, obviously it depends on the layout of the building in general, but I would say that segmenting out the certain weight machines or exercising machines is good to do. Because if you have them just all scrambled about, it's gonna get confusing for certain members, and it's gonna slow their routine. It's just gonna kind of, I would assume, kind of cram up the process of people hitting the certain exercises they want to go to. So I think if there's a designated like cardio area, designated dumbbell area, designated bench press area, kind of organized throughout, I think that's pretty important for me anyway, because that's how I can kind of organize and make sure that I'm hitting each one of my workouts that I want to get done. So that's of high importance to me.
Right. So how you said the gym is a central part of your daily routine and in your life. What would happen if would it be like an alternative for the gym if you don't have time or whatever, for example? If like you have an hour and you can't make it to the gym, or if you have 2 hours or stuff like that, what's an alternative to the gym?
Good question. So I kind of touched on like how I like to sit down and kind of plan out or organize my day ahead. I would definitely take time to do that, like get out my planner or look through a course syllabus that has the due dates of certain things, just so I know that I'm being productive in what I'm doing. That's a big thing that I like to do throughout my day, making sure I'm like being productive and like continuing to do better and better. So if I have a little time to knock out just like a little list of things that I have to get done, I definitely will do that. Grab a bite to eat, lunch with some of my roommates at my house. We'll go to like the AMU maybe. Play Xbox. We have Xbox at my house, and knock out a couple games of FIFA. In between classes. Our house does get pretty messy at times, so if I can get myself and my roommates motivated enough to clean up the house a little bit, that's always something that we'll do with our free time. Those are, I would say, some of the main things. Yeah.
If you're like in terms of like ranking activities after you work out, what are like those like your top 3 activities after you work out?
Yeah, good question. So like right after I work out, like I mentioned before, I like to go into the sauna. This is more so speaking at the Recplex. The sauna, going there for 5 to 10 minutes, steam room, kind of same routine, and then I kind of usually end with the hot tub. If I can't fit all 3 of them in, so be it. But that's kind of like what I like to do right after. And yeah, ranking those, I would say like I like the steam room, the sauna, and then the hot tub to end it. And then and then when I absolutely exit the gym, then I like to go home, take a shower, get something to eat, pack up my backpack, and usually go study or go to my next class or go on with my next routine.
All right. So now like we're in college, we're almost about to graduate. What are your plans after graduation? Like, are you trying to stay in the Milwaukee area, go somewhere else?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so like right now I'm currently working in Milwaukee, and I do plan to, after graduation, stay here within the Milwaukee area. Since coming here for school a couple years ago as a freshman, I've liked the Milwaukee area. I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, so I'm a little familiar with the setting, but I've grown to like it more. I've grown to expand my network of people within the Milwaukee area, so that's super important to me. Yeah, I feel comfortable in this setting, so overall I would see myself staying here after college, and yeah.
How about your friends? Are they also staying in Milwaukee? What do you think? Or?
I would say a lot are either leaning toward here, staying in Milwaukee, or Chicago.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends from like the Chicago area, so I know they have connections back in Chicago too. So for them, it's kind of that transition. You know, do they want to transition back to Chicago? So it's that kind of that decision for them. So.
Right. You said there's sometimes where like you go to the gym with your friends. Have you met new friends at the gym? Have you made new friends at the gym and like go to the gym together when you guys can, or not?
Yeah, so I've definitely recognized and have had conversations with people that I see at the gym. I'll see them around campus too, and say what's up and have a conversation with them. So I think I've definitely grown friendly with some people at the gym. I wouldn't say that I go to the gym like with them, but more so I just know that, oh hey, I'll see him at the gym at this time. Like we kind of understand each other's routines, so we'll end up like seeing each other at the gym regardless. And then that way we're not like holding each other up per se, but we're still able to get our workouts in, but at the same time like we'll still see each other and kind of have a conversation.
Nice. Yeah, so if you were to stay in Milwaukee, and like let's say you would go to the Recplex or Rec Center, you would be still familiarized with some of the younger class in Marquette. Is that true or no?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that there's a lot of people within the Milwaukee area that will continue to stay here and utilize gyms in the Milwaukee area. And I would definitely, if I were to go about choosing another gym, I would hold of high importance the aspect that I'm going to a gym where I feel comfortable at, and maybe I would get the kind of word of mouth from another person. How do you like this gym? Have you tried it before? Do you know of this gym? What other gyms have you gone to or utilized before? So I think going back to like what I know or get in touch with some of the younger people here, I think I still would find myself doing that, but keeping in mind that I want to stay within my overall age range, I guess.
Okay.
I don't want to like spread it out too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all good. So in terms of Marquette, they do offer alumni cards or membership for the gym here at Marquette, both at the Rec Center and at the Recplex.
Yeah.
There's a premium of $376 for the whole year. Do you think you would take this option post-graduation if you stay here in Milwaukee? And becoming a member, and going to the gym here on campus.
Yeah, well, I think that is a reasonable price. I know back in my hometown in Madison, I bought like a $99 student membership for a summer, so like 3 months or so. So that 376, that seems pretty reasonable throughout a year span, keeping in mind like all the amenities that you get there, the timing of when the gym is open. That's another big thing for me. I like to have the freedom to go to the gym when I want. So if a gym is open, if a gym is open 24 hours, that's awesome. Like I went to an Anytime Fitness back home. That's where I was a member at. And it's in its name, Anytime Fitness. You can go whenever. You just have a key fob that you swipe in. It's 24-hour access. So that's what I really liked about that. So if that's another aspect that I would find huge in a gym is the opportunity to go whenever it fit into your schedule. But yeah, going back on the question of
the pricing factor.
Yeah, the pricing factor. I would say that is a fair price. That's something that I would definitely look into. I would calculate out, what that is, per month or whatever. But to me, that seems like a reasonable price.
So just last question. So you mentioned one of the things that Anytime Fitness has is just the feasibility of going in whenever you want. It's a 24-hour gym. And Marquette doesn't have that. The Recplex or the Rec Center. What are other stuff that you think our facilities can improve on, and kind of be competitive post graduation with some of these other gyms, kind of like Anytime Fitness?
Yeah, that's a good point. So I mean, I understand a lot of the workers at the gyms are students, so they don't like to overload them with super late hours, which I understand. So the factor of introducing like a 24-hour option, I mean, that would be great. I think a lot of students would find that great. But at the same time, I understand as a student that working super late into the AM, that's not typically something that's a good idea for a student to do. Some other factors that I think that they could improve on to stay relevant and current with other gyms would be, just offering great customer service. I think we talked before about like personal trainers, offering like training assessments for students. Anytime that they feel that they want a personal assessment of kind of where they are at health wise, and maybe kind of what steps they've taken to become more physically active and better, overall more healthy in their eyes. I think that would be nice. And then, I mean, the amenities aspect, just staying current with any new changes that clubs are offering. But I think showers, hot tubs, steam room, sauna room, if they can have that, I think that's great. A swimming pool is another added component of both the rec and the recplex. I know that some home gyms can't offer that just because they don't have enough space, so I think that's awesome that they offer that.
Do you like the Wi-Fi that Marquette has? Because I know some of their gyms don't have it. Do you like that aspect?
Yeah, I do like that aspect because, like I said, I listen to my music and I use an app that would otherwise use my data on my phone. So I'm able to use the Wi-Fi at the rec or the recplex. So I think that's a good point that you bring up. The Wi-Fi, I think, is a pretty big component. If people are using their electronic device to listen to music, I think that's pretty key to have Wi-Fi available for them for free use.
That's about it for my questions, Nick. Do you have any other comments or anything that you wish to add? Overall, I think that we had discussed earlier, physical fitness is pretty important in my life. I try to, have a good set routine schedule every week. I think I hold that of pretty high importance just in my life overall, staying healthy and physically fit. So I like the aspect that Marquette has 2 gyms for students to go to. The amenities are great. I like that there. Time is definitely a huge aspect that we talked about. We're super busy as students, so
being able to utilize the gym when it is appropriate for me, when it works with my schedule, that's pretty key. But yeah, overall, I appreciate the questions, and it made me think a little bit more about what aspects I like in a gym and why I overall kind of go to a gym. So
All right. Thanks,
appreciate
Matt.
it. Thanks,
Really
Julio.
appreciate it.